YouTube, what's going on? Today, well, this video will be the last video in the bathroom, the good lighting, the greatness, because the fam, we're moving to another house, closing on it this Friday. Check out how the house is looking right now. Since you've never seen it before, but my daughter's room, the cute gray and yellow, well, daughters, but Ella never slept in here. Living room, hot mess status, getting rid of stuff. Kitchen, equally hot mess status. Kitchen, getting rid of stuff. Our bedroom, aka the love shack, empty. So, getting us a new house. That's gonna be real nice. A lot of space, a lot of room for activities. But anyway, coming at you all today with a recipe. I just made it up on the fly because back in the day, when I used to eat all the carby goodness, I used to eat something called Kool-aid pie. Now, what is it, you may ask? Let me tell you. It is Kool-Aid, one packet of Kool-Aid, of course, any flavor, a container of Cool Whip, and sweetened condensed milk. Yeah, a can of it, well, however many ounces that is. Mix it all together, throw that bad boy in a graham cracker pie crust, throw it in the freezer an hour, or throw it in the fridge for a few hours until it's nice and solid and set. And you got your tasty dessert. So I made my own version of it. So here it goes. It's me in my in-law's kitchen, coming back at you. All right, guys, coming at you with a voiceover, first thing I've ever done. But we start off with 8 ounces of cream cheese. Used to Philadelphia, has 1 less carb. We also have some pure sweetener, my go-to. 8 ounces of heavy whipping cream, the greatest stuff on earth. 1 packet of Kool-Aid, any flavor will do. And we start off first by creaming the cream cheese, which essentially just means just beating that sucker up with the hand mixer and getting it nice and smooth. You want this room temp, because if not, it will not spread. It's just a mess. Anything with cream cheese, make sure it's room temp. So I'll toss in a little sweetener, mix it in, make sure it's nice and incorporated. Toss in some more. I do it a little bit at a time so I don't have to get everything dust flying all over, because then at the end you're just wasting your sweetener and stuff. If you notice, I'm doing this on top of a pizza box because the in-laws they have pizza, and I was like, well, I'm not eating that pizza. I'm making Kool-Aid pie, so that's what I'm doing on top of the pizza boxes. So I'll get the rest of the sweetener in there and mix that all in. You know, they're all watching TV. I'm in the kitchen making all this racket, so they have to get over that. So keep mixing and mixing, and soon it'll be ready to go. So we set that aside, and the next thing we do, we get us the heavy whipping cream. Now this is 8 ounces, and this is a cold heavy whipping cream, of course. And what you want to do is mix this until you get stiff peaks. If you're not familiar with that, you'll see here in a second. But it varies on the time it takes to get the stiff peaks, and also on the speed of your blender, your hand mixer. But this one's pretty intense. It's probably one of the most powerful hand mixers I've ever used. Mine is a little wimp, but first I start off with just mixing it up a little bit, and it does. If you never made whipped cream from scratch, it takes a little bit, but in the end, totally worth it. And you see, it barely looks like anything's been done. And since this is my first time trying to do this recipe, I figured, you know, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just doing what I think would be a natural. So I just throw in the Kool-Aid packet to mix in with the heavy whipping cream, because to me that makes sense. So I give it a quick stir, make sure a little bit's in there at least before I get dust all over the place. Now I just continue mixing that bad boy. So you can see it starting to get a little thick. Looks kind of like a pudding right now. So that means we're getting close. Just mixing and mixing. Some say a cold metal bowl also helps to get the stiff peaks quicker. I don't know. I'm just using bowl. And as you can see, it's real thick now. And so, I'm about to finish up here because you do it anymore, you'll end it with butter. But you see how that just sticks up like that? That's when you know you get the stiff peaks. Looks big and nice and chunky. But still, it's not on the butter side. It's more of the heavy whipping cream side. And what I'm doing next is I'm mixing the cream cheese, and sweetener mixture. I'm putting that in with the Kool-Aid mixture, with the heavy cream mixture, I should say. And what you want to do now, instead of using that mixer again, because I don't want to overbeat the heavy cream and get it too chunky, even though with this it may actually not be a bad idea, but you want to just fold that cream cheese mixture into the whipped cream. So I'm just going to continue folding. I'm trying to keep it aerated, but honestly I have no clue if that really works. I mean, everybody else does it, so I assume folding it is going to help. But you want to make sure you get that real nice incorporated. Shouldn't take too long, but yeah. But just in case, you want to keep folding until you actually have one uniform color. I mean, you may have missed some spots because honestly I had a hard time seeing if everything was actually mixed in. So I don't know if some of the edges of the cream cheese actually fell off. Fell off from the spatula and fell in there, I don't know. But it's pretty good mix. So next thing you want to do is get us the pie pan, which you see here. And you can use your own pie crust. I don't like doing that because it takes too much effort and I just don't want to do it. And so I'm just throwing that bad boy in there by itself. So I'm just plopping down this mixture. And then once we get done plopping down this mixture, make sure you scrape all the edges, get all that goodness out of there. We want to spread it around the pie pan, make sure that's nice and even. So I'm getting enough final little bits, and so now I'm spreading it out to make sure I'm getting this nice uniform pieces, because you don't want like a thin piece of one spot and a super thick piece in another spot. It's hard to account for calories, and also that's just annoying. So I finally finished doing that, and so the next step you want to do is put that bad boy in the freezer. At first I thought fridge, but actually I think the freezer would be a way better option because, for one, it gets done faster, and two, it's nice and frozen. And so the idea is to put that in the freezer for an hour. The first time I tried it was, I think, 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Yeah, see my little fort mark, I checked it once and it wasn't good enough, so I did an hour. And I feel like an hour is a decent amount of time, and it definitely is set by an hour. And so I'm cutting to this bad boy to see how it turned out. Sorry for this camera work, it's a little funky here because I'm trying to hold my phone and record it and cut at the same time, and that just wasn't happening. But you see that piece popping up. I decided a knife wasn't gonna do, so I had to go with the fork. So there it is. It's not completely solid or frozen, but it's a nice good chunk. Looks kind of like I guess hardened pudding as a look. But here comes the taste test, and I'll let you know how I think. Yeah. So that looks good, right? So we done the recipe, here's some changes that I'd probably like to make to the recipe. Still do 8 ounces of the heavy whipping cream. That's nice. But I think I could have cut down on the sweetener because it was pretty sweet, and I'm all for sweet things, but some things are just like, it's a little much. So I think I do 1/3 of a cup instead of 1/2 a cup of sweetener. You know, this is a test, whatever, you live, you learn. And also, it's pretty tart from the Kool-Aid packet, so my wife said, hey, maybe just don't use the whole thing. And I was like, what? Yeah, I guess, I mean, that kind of makes sense too, so maybe 2/3 a packet instead of the full packet. I don't know, some ratios to play around with. And my wife also mentioned maybe to cut down on tartness at all, to use the Jello packet, flavor packet instead of Kool-Aid. Then I said, that ain't Kool-Aid pie. Hey, Kool-Aid pie, come on. Anyway, that's the recipe. Make it yourself. I didn't use the graham cracker crust or make a crust because I find crust making annoying. Even though it does make it look better, I don't care. I'm here for the contents. So, thanks for watching. Talk to you later.